All right, let's go. Oh, God. Are we recording now?
Yeah.
Well, Miss Congeniality over there.
What?
Can I just say retirement does not look good on you, John?
Oh,
You were
God.
more relaxed working.
I know. It's a very busy day. A very busy day.
Maybe that's it. Like obligations catch you more off guard in retirement.
And look at this. This is, I open the water bottle and it goes everywhere on my notes.
Well, you can't squeeze the water bottle when you're
opening
it.
I didn't get the memo. Okay.
Mess. You're a mess. It's Eat, Talk, Repeat. The three of us are all here. Let's introduce ourselves. John, you can go first.
This is at your service. Today, I'm the misanthropic maven of mastication. How's that? Boom. John Curtis at your service.
And socials.
And socials at Eating Las Vegas on Twitter, at John Curtis, JOHNCURTAS on Instagram.
I love that emphasis right there.
I put the ass
Sam?
in Curtis.
Yes, Sam Merjovsky at What's Right Sam on all the platforms. I am the Crudo Princeling of
Did
Las
you demote
Vegas.
yourself?
Yeah, I haven't had as much Crudo lately.
Okay.
But hopefully get back on top.
Total digression. Not only that, a little bit off the subject. I'm just going to say right now, introduce yourself. I have a Crudo comment.
I'm Ash Watkins, the Hamburguesa Principesa of Las Vegas.
At Ash the Attorney everywhere.
Yes, look at you go, John.
Yeah,
okay, derail the show.
A Crudo digression, a sidebar, if you will. I had Crudo in northern Italy probably half a dozen times in 14 days.
Okay.
And over there, it's just raw. It's just sashimi.
They don't give any
They don't dress it up?
No
cuteness,
no dressing up. I mean, I had it. Well, Venice is a seafood mecca. Okay, so they're very proud of their fish there, and I probably had it in 4 or 5 restaurants there, and a couple times in Milan, and always, they're very proud of it. Very fresh fish from the Mediterranean, whether or the Aegean Sea or wherever they get it from, and every time it came, it was just like beautifully cut, spread out on a plate. They called it crudi, basically the plural of crudo. And that's what it was. So interesting. And you don't see it with any, it's more ceviche-like, when we get it here in America,
With flavoring.
With flavoring. There it's just like the fish. You know what I mean?
I think I like it with flavoring.
Yeah, me too. But I bet some of the fish there is so fresh. It's like Tokyo. The fish is so pristine. It tastes like it jumps out of the ocean onto your plate. So you kind of don't mind when it's that fresh. But anyway.
You won't mind when it's that fresh. But I like true Crudo. I got
True Crudo. Well, in the American Crudo. So anyway, that's that. Let's get on topic here and
Okay,
move right
so
on.
we've introduced ourselves. We are Eat, Talk, Repeat. Like, follow, subscribe to the show. I'd like to say we're halfway there, folks. We have 55 pretty regular viewers on YouTube.
Damn.
I mean, that's just YouTube.
And those
watchers.
are just my first cousins.
That's why we've got a Greek on here. They were all in for last week's episode. So like, follow, subscribe, email us, cheers@eattalkrepeat.com. That's always fun. I've been enjoying the emails. Any updates for your blog?
Well, no update on the blog. But yeah, the way to get YouTube subscribers and whatnot is we've got to do something like super ridiculous,
Like blow up a car.
Yeah, blow up exactly. Or let's all do podcasting in the nude. You know what I mean? Just from the neck, from the neck up. Just pretend, do something. Or
Costumes. We should wear food costumes.
Or me getting a fist fight with a chef on a sidewalk or something like that.
Ooh.
We could stage it.
Right outside of a restaurant that hates you. For example.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
What's that one in Tivoli Village?
Oh, Echo and Rig.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe
we could just do our show right in front of it.
Right.
With a sign, with a provocative sign.
Yes.
This place
Fight
sucks.
You know what? That's how we're going to do it. We're just going to put you in a sandwich board of that says this place sucks.
And see who punches me out. Then I guarantee you 100,000 viewers on YouTube. Okay. All right. So anyway.
We have no progress on our burger crawl.
Yeah.
We've
Lame. Loser.
Well, you haven't texted
Loser.
anyone. You haven't tried to move
Loser.
this.
I know, but yeah, I'm ready to burger. I'm ready to go burger down. I am.
Okay.
We got to get to Delmonico, Mae Daly's, Peter Luger, and Nicco's, the final four of our Burger Crawl 2025.
Which one are you most looking forward to going back to?
Well, the Luger burger, I know it. I don't really care about the Luger burger.
Okay.
Because I know how great it is.
Yep.
So I've probably had, since they came to town, I've had it at least 5 or 6 times.
Okay.
The Delmonico burger slaps, no cap. Mae Daly's, God, that was so good too. To me, Mae Daly's and Nicco's, I want to see how they stack up against each other. you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm most excited to go back to Delmonico, and I'm most nervous for Mae Daly's.
Oh.
That it won't measure up.
That they'll have an off night or something. I don't know. I
You're-
don't know why.
Do you remember how perfect it was?
It was
when we-
perfect. It was
I
perfection
mean,
itself.
it was like, I don't know if a hamburger can get any better than the one we had. Really, I don't.
Only God himself is more perfect.
Okay.
It's like the
Yeah,
Persian
Interesting.
rug.
Yes, she is.
An interesting thing, that's the only one with toppings. The rest are all just meat, cheese, and
Yeah.
maybe sauce and
All right,
pickles.
so well, let's quit tempting everybody and
Yeah.
teasing that. We just got to do it,
I know.
and
I know.
we got to buckle down, strap on, and let's. Should we talk about the restaurant rundown? So all the closings, because closings.
Okay, well, let's tease
lot
where
of
we.
I know.
Closings
I
this
know
week.
which one you're the most devastated with.
Hogs
and Heifers.
Yeah,
I forgot about
broke
that
my-
one.
broke my heart.
Okay, wait. First, we have to tease where we've been recently.
Oh,
And then we go into the food news you can use. It's like
Okay.
it's your first time, guys.
what
Okay,
would we do without
I know.
Ash?
Okay, so
And Lakin,
yeah.
Yeah,
the
well,
lovely Lakin.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I've been to Pisces. I've been to Pepper Club, and
You went to Pisces.
yeah.
You cheated on me. I wanted to go there first.
It's so good.
Is it good?
Okay, so I've been to Pisces, I've been to Pepper Club. Also, kind of went to Eureka for a sports bar evening down on Fremont. I know. Who
what-
am I? It's a,
Oh,
it's a
that's
chain.
that place. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
know.
good.
Oh,
And
I
then-
wrote
no,
that
no.
space off at least a dozen years ago.
It's a chain. I know.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling the people I go to normal places too.
Yeah.
You've been to, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Café Landwer?
Well, I think in German, and it comes from Berlin. It actually comes from Israel by way of Berlin. Landwer is how they would say it, but it's Landwer, Cafe Landwer. It is a kind of a Jewish restaurant, a kind of a Middle Eastern restaurant began in Berlin way back when.
And then you went to, I think you both went to
Le Café du Vegas.
Le Café du
Central.
Vegas. Now
Central.
they call it Le Café Central, exactly. I was at Monzù, Chin Chin, and Laos Thai street food.
I can't
and the
believe you
Pepper
went
Club.
to Chin Chin.
Yeah, I did. And I'm,
Yeah. Okay. So now let's get into food news.
Well, wait a minute.
Let's-
What?
Oh, wait. Sorry. Where did you go?
00 Pie and Pub.
Yes.
Finally
really.
went to that Café Central place. And then I also went, I haven't been in a while to tackle the delights over at Featherblade Butchery. So did some cooking last weekend. Esther's Brunch, I have a report for you, John. And Bar Boheme, I took a French friend of mine, and I have his take on Bar Boheme through the eyes of a Las Vegas Frenchman.
There you go.
Okay. There you go.
Perfect. Can't
Okay,
wait.
Can't wait for that. All right, okay, let's go through food news you can use.
Yes, Pisces at the Wynn opened, replacing Lakeside. No famous chef. It was supposed to originally be that Fabio Trabocchi.
Well, Martin Hireling is famous in my world. I love
Yes,
Martin. Well, Martin is a
yes.
real pro, and we love Martin
Yeah,
Hireling.
from Sensi at
Yeah, at
Bellagio.
Bellagio. He opened Sensi, and it went back in those early years when it was 4 concepts in one, right? And then that connection between Bellagio and its other tower, the other tower.
Okay.
Martin Hireling is something else, and he was brought in just to launch this restaurant, and so it's in
Where
good
else
hands.
has he been?
Well, he has been. He was. I saw him there the night before they opened, and he said he moved back to Philadelphia for a while, and he worked with Steven Starr, who's one of the sort of the Wolfgang Puck of Philadelphia. Has a lot of concepts back there. So he was with them. Then he moved to Australia, of all things,
Wow.
on a consultancy deal. but then relocated back to the United States, is now splitting his time between Vegas and Los Angeles, where his family lives. But he was brought in by Wynn specifically to open Pisces, and it could not be in better hands. I haven't eaten there yet. You have, but I was so excited when I heard that Martin Hireling was back in the fold.
So that's exciting. Also, José Andrés' Zaytiny has finally opened in the
Right.
Caesars Forum shops. We waited like 2 years for that.
Yeah, it seems like they announced it so long
Yeah,
ago.
they announced it right around the same time they announced Bar Centro and Bazaar Mar, I think.
Right, and this took like a year and a half longer to get off the ground. Right.
So that's exciting. Have you been?
No.
Okay.
I've been to the original one in D.C. several times, and it's great. I mean, it could. I like it because it's more with that Landwer. It's Middle Eastern food. It's accessible. It's not super expensive. It can be very vegetarian, vegetable forward if you want it to be. So it's a very interesting concept to come to town.
Yeah.
Healthy, healthful
Well,
eating.
I was just staring at the like the bread section.
Oh,
that
yeah,
looked
yeah.
yummy.
Yeah. So.
What else? Let's get into closures. Hogs and Heifers.
Yeah, but John, you've been there a few times.
Yeah. Because I go there to pick up chicks, because motorcycle babes and me, we get along. Yeah.
That's probably who's going to be the first person to punch you.
Yeah. A motorcycle chick, yeah. From the back of a Harley. Yes.
Yeah.
I went to Hogs and Heifers once, like the week it opened, and I looked, and it was such what I call forced fun. Straight off a cruise ship. Everybody suddenly we all have to dance, and we all have to get on top of the tables and dance. It's just
You have to?
Well, no, you don't have to, but you can just tell it's a formula. It's a concept. You're going to have fun here, and we have pre-programmed the fun for you to have. Just like a cruise
There's no
ship.
spontaneity.
Yeah, no spontaneity.
Okay.
They pretend there is, but it's just stupid. I mean, it's stupid. It's it's for country music lovers. And,
Are they relocating?
No,
Or are they
no,
just-
they're just done.
Oh.
And if you're a country music lover, you'd love it. And I don't. If you heard my thing about country music, right?
No.
Yeah, I don't want to denigrate country music lovers.
Please.
But
But
for
you're
all-
going
but-
to.
But for all you country music lovers, denigrate means to look down upon. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So if
Yeah,
you are,
that
so
was
I-
cute. I got it.
Yeah. So I mean,
And that was it.
country-
Okay.
I mean, you walk into Hogs and Heifers, you can feel your IQ lowering as you step through the threshold. Okay, it's that kind of place.
I know it feels great.
I know.
Okay.
All right.
R.I.P. Hogs and Heifers. Another loss. Chamana's Café has closed. This is
Kind of quietly, nobody really knew about it.
yeah, this is by Dan Cromer of Other Mama up there on Durango.
in
But-
the same shopping
Yes,
center
as-
as.
Okay, so their Facebook page said they're moving into a dinner, wine, cocktails, events thing. So they closed on May 5th. They're going to host like pop-up dinners there. And then the RJ came out with more info and said it's going to be called Durango Social Club,
Oh, kill me.
a chef-driven wine bar set to launch in June. And Dan Cromer said, Chamana's was a great experiment, but I've come to realize I'm a dinner guy. I like to play good music, pour good wine, and create food that surprises people. So it's going to have a wine program, a snack menu. I like snacks.
Is saying you're a dinner guy as a chef your way of saying you're not a morning person?
I'm too hungover. everybody.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
I'm a dinner guy.
Look, again, I love Dan Cromer, and he's a great chef. And Other Mama is a great restaurant.
Yes.
But some of his other experiments have not worked out so well, sadly.
Okay, we're rooting for you, Dan.
Yes, we are rooting for you.
I think Bahamar, our seafood taco spot, is expanding. They opened a new one in Henderson. I know you don't care about this, but have you heard about them opening somewhere over here in the Arts District?
Bahamar, the little hole in the wall there.
Yes.
Wow.
That's a no.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I stopped going to the one down here because I don't want to see. There's so many bums around it and,
Yeah,
and
it's
homeless people that
The
I mean,
Fenty Bros.
yeah, I mean, I loved it when it first opened, but I had one too many meals when people are walking in and they're not shooing away the people.
They now I think have like a doorbell system. They like lock the door.
Well, no, you don't need a doorbell system. You need an owner or a manager and it can be a big burly guy or it can be a little tiny woman, but somebody who walks up to these people and go, "You leave now, okay?" And
Do you want that? You could do it in retirement.
Yeah, I'd be really good at it. I'd probably get punched in the face a lot.
And there's
So
our
we've
content.
got Fenty Bros, biker chicks. They will be the list.
Don't ask me to sympathize with people who try to, hang out in front of restaurants, who haven't showered in a month.
But you go over there to the taco spot that's right next door.
I've been to Guadalajara.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? Because they shoo them away.
They do?
And they send it to Boheme.
They literally, the Bahamar has open windows there, or not open, but glass windows, and they hang out and they just stand there, looking at you eat and everything. It's like, don't get me started.
It's too late.
Folks, I'm the progressive liberal in this group, but nothing has me putting on my conservative hat more than the homeless situation.
More like limousine liberal, but okay.
It's kind of funny. I sat last time I went to Bar Boheme. Right when you walk in to the right, there's like that long row of booths.
Right.
And there's windows right behind
Along
those
Main,
booths.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And also Mae Daly's in their bar. They've now lowered the tables in the bar area, so they're lower four tops.
Right.
And those window seats are right up against Las Vegas Boulevard. Having those windows like shades open.
No.
No. It is like you're taking a bite of whatever meal is coming your way, and then you just see a homeless person digging through the trash, sticking their hand down their pants or whatever. And you're going, this is
my buddy JB, and I'm not going to say it. This is a family show, but he's about to open Vigorish down on First and Main. And let me tell you, the stuff he's seen right out his window back when it was the various incarnations. It was Itsy Bitsy started out that a long time ago. It's so disgusting. It's beyond words. And shooting up drugs right in front of is the most mildest thing he's ever seen. Okay.
But as a restaurant owner, you have to be, I think, aware of that, like the sight line of your patrons. So,
anyway, okay.
Okay. Any other
I've
closings?
now lost my appetite. I've now lost my appetite.
Well, I have a question about a closing. I've heard some stuff about maybe Giada's being on the rocks. Is that? What have you heard?
Yeah, no, I've heard that. I've heard that from insiders. Oh my God, thank you, Sam. Somebody told me this in the know a couple months ago. Said that Giada is on the way out. They're going to replace it with
a Vanderpump.
Vanderpump.
Oh, we talked about that on the show.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's a Vanderpump Hotel.
Yes,
Vanderpump
Cromwell is
Giada's
rebranding.
Yeah.
But Giada is leaving.
It would make
as
sense
well.
that Vanderpump, who's a restaurant owner, would come in and want to brand it herself, I would say.
Yeah. Okay.
But I guess, I don't know.
And we didn't talk about all the closings, though. We talked about
Hogs and Heifers, Chamanas, what else? We talked about last week, we talked about Piero's and Bramare. This is getting really doom and gloomy.
Oh my God, you guys! What? Do I have to do everything around here?
Kind of.
I'm just kind of kidding, folks, because I'm just being an arrogant asshole, which I tend to be. Mr. Chow is closing.
I read that too.
Yeah, because I tweeted it out. And Cathedral, which, by the way, I told you Cathedral was closing like 6 months ago.
Oh my gosh.
Thinking it was about to close, and it did not close right away, but now it is absolutely closing like at the end of the month.
Maybe you saying it was closing 6 months ago.
It was. Look, I mean, there's a special place in hell for these Tao restaurant concepts where they think they can just push out food to a bunch of clueless tourists and overcharge for it, and nobody will notice. And Cathedral was a perfect example of that.
Any rumblings of what's going in there?
No, in fact, no. That was the Old Sage, and this is a good example how that the strip food and beverage people are out of ideas when they want Tao to sort of invent something for everybody restaurants, and they put in things like Netflix cafes and the MGM. And it's just sad to see how far the strip has fallen. But yeah, so it just it's gone. Mr. Chow, which is a very expensive Chinese restaurant, but actually quite good.
Very good.
Very
I mean, I haven't
good,
been to the
yeah.
one here.
I haven't been to one. I've been to one
Miami.
I've been to one in
times.
London and here, and it's a beautiful Chinese restaurant, but it had a moving ceiling and all kinds of gewgaws going on.
Is it
here.
already closed?
Everything I read was all this stuff is like happening like in the next 30 days, something
Okay.
like that. So Mr. Chow, interesting. So Hogs and Heifers, Mr. Chow, Cathedral, Chamana. Yeah, it's kind of maybe we're doing culling the herd a little bit here.
Sad.
Sad but true.
R.I.P.
Okay.
guys. I think. A new Italian restaurant, just what you asked for.
Just what we need.
Yep.
More Italian food.
Southern Highlands is getting
That's the food capital of Vegas.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, isn't that where Café du Sud is?
Yeah, but
okay. So they need food down there too. Okay.
Yeah,
So
all those rich people with no taste need better food. That's true.
well, Jenna and Michael Morton are opening Nudo Italiano this month in Southern Highlands. They're behind Le Cave Wine Bar at Wynn and some Greek thing. In
And
MG.
one steakhouse at the Virgin Hotel. That's one of theirs.
Oh,
too.
your favorite?
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like the worst hotel steakhouse in town. It is. But I love Michael and Jenna Morton. Jenna Morton, they're a doll, and they're great people, and they know restaurants, but they have hits and misses. So I'm.
Don't we all, John? Are you just all hits over there?
Yeah, right. Never a dark cloud on my horizon ever.
I don't know. Look, for Southern Highlands,
Okay.
congrats. I guess they're getting
it's good.
It's
Yeah.
going to be homemade breads, pastas,
Right,
wood-fired
right.
pizzas, apparently made according to the United Nations standards for true Neapolitan pizza.
No,
The UN is
Is-
dictating pizza standards.
As
that's
they should.
No, it's the Vera Pizza Napolitana.
Yeah.
It's the standard.
Is
Yeah.
that the UN?
That's what the RJ
Well,
said.
the RT.
Look,
yeah.
this is not my full-time job, people. I don't have time to. I just
Yeah.
am like
But you
gathering.
you get it right more often than the RJ does. I will say that.
Thank you.
You
That
do.
was nice.
Okay.
They're gonna have a Diavola pizza, Sam. You can go.
Oh, I'm in. I love
Yep.
Diavola.
Yeah.
Little
Okay.
spicy sausage. Yes,
Fun
please.
other fact: Eater Vegas and the RJ both have articles about burgers
Yeah.
this week. Fuckers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
And they're all shit lists.
Oh yeah.
RJ's doing the biggest burgers in Vegas. So like the
I love it when they'll put like Slater's 50-50
okay,
on
so
there.
Eater just took
Yeah.
Slater's off their list.
Yeah.
But do you want to go through them and see what
Well,
the
what-
14 best burgers in Las Vegas, according to Eater editors, is?
Yeah. Who like yeah. Right.
Okay.
Consider the source, folks.
With Love Always,
That's just
Smash Burger.
that's a smash burger up north. Yeah. He gets always gets a lot of food Instagram buzz. So they have to like.
Yeah, that's the Sorry Not Sorry Creamery
R-
people.
Right. The guy who makes shitty ice cream now he's making smash burgers. Yeah.
Okay, Yukon Pizza. It's a good burger. Top 14. Don't know about that. Stay Tuned Burgers at the Hard Hat. I would
Okay.
throw that up
Well, I
there.
will go with both of those. Yeah. And, and I
Here
doubt
we go.
these idiots knew anything about it until they listened to us.
I know.
Okay. All right. go ahead.
Rollin' Smoke.
Oh, fuck's sake. Oh, God. Fuck's sake. No,
I think
Yeah,
it's
you
safe
know
to
why? Because somebody sent the Eater editor a free burger, and they went, well, all right about it, because I'm Eater. Yeah.
That's exactly how it went down.
Fuku Burger. Not good. Not
that's so
14.
fu-
Not 14 best. I've been
Yeah, Fuku Burger.
mid.
Fuku Burger had his day in the sun, but that was a decade ago. Okay.
Yeah. Diner Ross, very good, but not top 14.
I'll trust you on that one.
Let's see. Peter Luger,
Okay. Again, thank you. For,
Blind Squirrel, No Pants at Absinthe, another smash burger. Capone's Burger at the Fontainebleau, so a food court burger.
Okay.
I don't. If Delmonico's is not on here, they have failed.
Okay.
Barcode Burger.
Barcode Burger. Oh, they are Barcode Burgers are just shit. Okay, I went there years ago, back when my blog was very active. So this was pre-COVID. Let's say 7-8 years ago. They came down. Have you had Barcode Burger? I went in and said, it's like a pre-made burger. It's like a burger you get at Costco. You can just tell, like the patties is pumped, is frozen, pumped out of a thing, and it's thick. And I went, the bun wasn't any good. The meat was mid, to be kind. I'm going, but they pushed it out there with publicity, so everybody went Barcode Burger. But no, it's just a mediocre nothing burger. Okay.
Ooh. Gordon Ramsay burger. Bavette Steakhouse
Thank
burger.
you.
Okay. Let's see. In-N-Out burger. I am one of the most loyal fans of In-N-Out burger.
But even you see how ridiculous that
But
is.
it is not the top 14 burger. Okay. Herbs burgers. Also no.
No.
No. 14, top 14.
No.
No.
So far they're
that's it.
So they got about 5 or 6 really. They nailed 5 or 6, and the rest are all just
5 or
typical,
6. I don't even know if they've
typical
got
eater
that.
bullshit.
So
you know?
they might as well have picked names out of a hat at this point, right?
That's what they did. Eater, who gives a shit? You know, if you're still following Eater folks, you know, I don't think people that listen to us follow Eater, or if they do, they use it for the addresses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, just to get. But you know, if you really think they know what they're talking about, I feel sorry for you.
I know. One day in my spare time, I will create a rival website to Eater Vegas. And,
Okay.
All right. Should we take a quick break and then come back, go through where we've been, and then pet peeves, and maybe.
Boy, I got a pet peeve. Oh my god.
I do too.
Oh god. Yeah.
I'm locked and loaded.
Oh gosh. All right. Let's take a break.
I'm the best.
Personal injury law has been the same for a long time.
The best.
Big egos, greed, and sleazy schemes. We've had enough. Welcome to Salmon Ash, the new standard for personal injury law, where things are done the right way, because you deserve a team that delivers real support and results. When you have both, your whole world can change. Salmon Ash Injury Law, because you deserve what's right.
Okay.
You're in a little better mood halfway through.
There's a smile.
I need a drink. I do. I've got
What
a
would
rough,
you go for right now?
A Manhattan.
No, a cocktail.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Like
kind
a
of, maybe
Manhattan.
a fruity cocktail. No, but kind of like a spritzy, frizzy kind of fruity cocktail.
an
yeah.
Are you an Aperol?
Maybe
No,
a French.
no,
Would it
no.
maybe a French 75?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Gin
there you
and,
go.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah.
and
Little
gin and
gin and
champagne.
fizz.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I would, whatever was put in front of
Gin
me
to
right now,
start
I
my
would
night would be-
knock back. Yeah, oh yeah,
Oh yeah, gin's a great place to start.
yeah.
It's dangerous. That's dangerous for me.
Tequila's dangerous.
Have you ever
No.
seen the list of what different boozes do to you? Like, you know, gin makes you mean, tequila makes you horny, vodka makes you
No.
Russian.
vodka makes you drunk drive. You know, whatever. There's a whole list of things.
Oh.
Okay,
I think it's all
list?
BS. Yeah,
What does rum make you do?
what makes you happy? I think.
You think you're like a
I
happy-
just want to sing like I'm
pirate.
a Jamaica man. Okay.
Oh.
This the little song I wrote. You may want to play it one note for note. Okay.
No, keep
That's
going.
what rum
Keep
makes me.
going.
Yeah.
We have our new bumper music. Our favorite Rastafarian.
Rastafari, that's me. But rum makes you happy.
It does.
It does.
It
Rum,
does.
rum
It
makes
does.
rum's-
And it gives you diabetes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it is so sweet, and the juices, the fruit juices they use,
It just
it's the-
there's a reason why all the fruity cocktails are made with rum, because it's just the perfect match. I mean,
yeah,
have it.
it's so sweet.
The one booze I just never have gotten. I mean, I don't like Scotch because of the peatiness and the smokiness, but I don't understand people's
Mezcal.
love of mezcal. I can't stand. But vodka to me is such a nothing.
It's nothing.
Yeah, so people
Tasteless.
go, "Oh, I want a vodka martini." You know, why don't you just inject booze in your veins? I mean, it does. There's no taste.
You can do that?
I mean, does vodka have taste? I don't know. It's not supposed to.
No, it really doesn't.
I'll ask Tony Abuganum sometime.
It's clean. It's refreshing. Like a really cold vodka shot sometimes, you know, when you're doing the traditional caviar experience.
Yeah, you're right. You know, you're right.
Like
And-
really like
Like for
ice
caviar
cold.
bumps.
yeah, yeah, off a stripper's ass. Yes, that's what I like to do.
I'm doing it all wrong.
We are how many minutes in? 30 minutes in and I'm out.
Can I have to say something here?
What?
That my daughter, who is 14 and
Interesting
in
segue.
Europe.
Interesting
Hold on.
fucking
I wanna
segue,
see-
No,
Sam.
wait
How
for
are
it.
you connecting these dots?
Wait for it. She started listening to our show,
Okay.
and she wanted me to tell you, John, that the first thing she mentions is don't go into business with your Greek family members.
Right.
And something about fallopian tubes.
Yeah.
She's paying attention.
She's paying attention.
I think I called them urethra tubes, which is a whole different tube.
Oh God,
Well, I think we
we're
got
leaving it. Let's leave it.
I do not understand.
We got our
female
tubes
anatomy.
crossed.
Oh my gosh, we're leaving that in last week's episode.
Okay, let's move on. Let's keep going.
Okay, so let's go to where we've been.
Okay.
You've been to some places.
Finally, I got caught up. The last
Yeah.
2 weeks I've been slacking. So I went to Chin Chin
I've been there.
and liked it.
Yep.
I had really good oysters, Rockefeller. And they were beautifully nice West Coast oysters, deep, not Kumamoto's. I forgot to ask what they were. But they do them with a miso spinach glaze with cooked spinach and miso and mozzarella cheese
Yeah.
baked in. They knocked me out. They were great. Okay, I was like,
Yep.
I'll come back for these oysters because I don't like to eat oysters raw in these hot weather months. But those and they do another baked oyster too. I didn't try.
I
And
think I
that-
did the other one. Is it like a pizza oyster or what is it? It's something interesting, but I remember the mozzarella. But the fun fact when I went, it's a Nobu chef. So he's actually like a former Nobu guy.
Yeah, and you can tell he's waiting on everybody behind the counter and quite good. The other oysters are called drunken oysters, vermicelli noodles, black bean sauce, and shallots and cabbage of all things.
Oh.
So I haven't tried that one. But then I had just the chef nigiri platter, and it was very good. So just a food gallon, I just dropped in a quick bite. We sometimes just want to go quick bite, and then we thought it fit the bill. And the sake, don't order this house sake, folks. It tastes like sake flavored water.
So vodka.
So get some vodka instead. But they haven't. It's in that brew pub, and the thing to get's the beers that are made on premises. I just didn't do that. So, but Chin Chin was great.
We had the baked mussels when we went. Spicy marinara, spicy aioli, mozzarella, scallions, and a soy glaze.
Nice.
But yeah, it's an interesting little spot.
Yeah, and it's I hope they make it. It's as I said in my tweet, it's kind of hidden. It's across the street from the Pepper Club and the English Hotel, but they seem to be finding an audience, and they had some customers on Wednesday night when I was there. So that was that. I went to Pepper Club again for lunch. Just had 2 things, but I can see what you meant. Had to give you props because
Thank you.
I mean, the carpaccio. You could taste the beef. You could taste really good dusting of Parmesan cheese on top. We had a chopped salad. It was a very light lunch. The food gallon I had, but
I
you
like
could
that
just
salad.
tell they're spending a little more time on the food. It didn't feel as perfunctory as it did months ago. So love that. Then went to I went to the Laotian Thai place with my boys. Shout out to JB, Dave, Jerry Slater. And ate Lao Thai street food, which I know nothing about. It's funky, it's earthy, it's very fish saucy, but it's great. And this place is on Paradise and Twain, not a nice hood. You got to like these funky Southeast Asian flavors, but Laos
How
Thai
do you
street
find
food.
these?
Well, Dave
yeah.
and Dave and JB are like my advanced scouts. I mean, they're out looking for these obscure Asian places all the time. It's always fun to go in, And,
So you wait for them to go first, and then if they don't get hospitalized,
Yeah, well,
You,
some of this stuff is not for gringos. I'll be straight up. I mean, I love this restaurant, and they do a lot of stuff like Chow, like the crispy rice, and they do some drunken noodles and whatnot. But it always has this very rough, edgy, fish saucy kind of pungency to it that you better like. If you don't,
I don't know if I would.
Yeah, you might not. It will turn off a lot of palates unless you know that cuisine. So I did that, and I think that was pretty much it for me this week. Oh, I went to Café Landwer.
How was that?
And that was want to go back. We had a breakfast, food gal and I had she had a bunch of mez platters and a couple of eggs, and I had, what did I have? The shashuka, which was just kind of not exactly, didn't float my boat. They really, it's their signature dish. It just looked like a lame tomato sauce with a couple of overbaked eggs on it. And I
That's
was
kind
like,
of what shakshuka is.
yeah,
actually.
it is. But the challah bread they had was great.
Okay.
And the menu looks interesting enough. I want to go back. And that was, the litmus test. When we walked out, both the food gal and I said, yeah, we want to try it again for a different
It's a
meal.
big menu,
Yeah,
right?
big and
Yeah.
beautiful pita bread, really nice mez. and a lot of different things. And they've been around forever. They have like 50 of them or 80 of them in Israel, and now they're branching out across the United States. Sort of a cafe, it's one of those places you could spend $20 or you could spend $100, depending on how hungry you are. Yeah.
Okay.
So Cafe Landwer on West Charleston. Yeah.
So Pepper Club went to an event at the Smith Center, and so we went to Pepper Club before that. Really cool spot. Love it. I love everything they're doing. Tried their burger. They now have a burger on the menu. Very good. Very good. Trying to think. I really can't talk highly enough about it. And also, did you know that I guess Bruce Coleman, who's taken over Pepper Club, used to have an Italian restaurant in Pasadena. In Pasadena.
California.
So that's where all of this stuff is coming from.
Right. He'll tell you his passion
Yeah.
is I mean, he's doing the barbecue, but he's a professionally trained chef that used to be considered one of the best Italian chefs in Southern California.
Yeah, I had no idea until we were at Vegas Unstripped and we were talking about it. And he goes, "Yeah, no, I just basically brought my Italian restaurant from Pasadena over here." And
I think he and Trees are going to have sort of they're going to have an arms race. You
well,
know
it's
what I mean?
funny. I saw them both
Yeah.
at Vesta. I walked over to get coffee one day, and they were both sitting there having a
Yeah.
little
Good for them.
powwow.
Good for you. Two chefs want to try to outdo each other. We all win. We all win. Yeah.
Oh yes. Eureka went to watch the hockey game. It is what it is. Can't.
Would you end up there?
I don't know.
Bullshit place. Jesus. I thought you had better taste. I thought I raised you better than that.
We all slip. We all have our moments.
all right, fine.
Pisces, though, went last night to Pisces.
Jelly. I'm not jelly at all.
I love it. I think it's going to have my new favorite bar on the strip, too.
Yeah.
Because right when you walk in, the bar is up kind of in its own level, and it's tucked away, and it's hidden, and it's beautiful. All the
It's
bottles
this
on
giant oval, too, right? Yeah.
Yes. And it's just really stunning. And you don't feel like you're on display. The people sitting on the far right side, your backs are against a mirrored wall that
Right.
mercury glass. Really just a intimate kind of spot to grab a drink and even a few bites. Then we went to our table. We had a lot of stuff on the menu. It was all really good. I can't wait to go back. But
Do you go with 4 people?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That you really go with 4, and it's nice. You share it. You can really share everything. And we did some of us did separate entrees, and they're not overwhelmingly large or too small. Like it was the right portion size.
It's not cheap, though. Let's keep this in mind. This is a high-end strip seafood restaurant, so be prepared.
Yes, gird your wallet, loins, I guess. But it's one of those things that it's a really nice experience. The service is top-notch. They're attentive and trying, and the really cool thing is their bread. They're doing a sourdough croissant type pull-apart bread. It is to die for.
All right.
I said I love when my bread comes pre-buttered, and that's what it did. But yeah, I actually just can't wait to go back.
Were they busy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very busy. And we went at like 6 on a Wednesday night, and busy.
We're going to slip in early in the week next week. I don't want to go on the weekends. I mean, it's just not worth it. But I can see us being there like Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday night next week because I love Martin, and I just can't. I know he's going to do well. It's big shoes to fill. Remember, you had Bartolotto Ristorante Mare, which was one of the best seafood restaurants in America for the 15 years it was open, and then Costa de Mare, which took over, which closed, I guess, now 3 years ago or so, at least. I mean, those were some really high-end, great seafood restaurants. If anybody can pull it off, it's going to be the Wynn. So very excited. And I saw the menu, and it looks like you can something for everybody on the menu.
Yeah, and also the room's just stunning.
Yeah.
Pull someone aside to have them explain to you what they've done. The mosaic glass floors, they're imported all the glasses from Italy, and they even imported the glass blower to lay it. We want you to actually do the tile floors, and there's something weird about the blue wall that got its blue in one country and the fish on it in another, and then the vases all throughout are giant and from some lady in Kansas.
Somebody blew the wall.
Yeah.
I guess they did.
Yeah, it's
well,
very cool.
Of course, you know who designed it. No, she doesn't. But I'm just
no, I did. I read this. It's What
It's
is?
the Wynn designer Todd Avery Lenahan.
Okay, and remind me what else he's done.
Well, he started out being a designer at Disney. You know, I mean,
He
a long
did
time.
Club 33 in Florida.
He did Club 33 in
okay.
Florida, and he also did Cut. You know, and he did some things for Wolfgang Puck. So he's done a lot of work for the Wynn Encore, and he's a really well-known guy. Has that sort of extravagant eye, but also he just knows how to tailor it just right and create just the right feel in a restaurant. So, and I looked around, I didn't know he had designed it till the manager came over and said, you know, Todd Avery did this. I went, yeah, okay, now it makes sense.
You know, something interesting about him. So he did a lot of work with Wynn early on,
Right.
And
With Roger.
And I think he had a design studio, and he actually ended up his design studio got purchased by Disney. So Disney went to him and said, you know, we really like you to do stuff for us. And he's like, I'm kind of busy. He goes, you know what we'll do? We'll buy you.
Yeah. And then that's the way to bring him into the fold. So Roger Thomas, he worked with Roger Thomas, who did a lot of the original Wynn Encore restaurants. And so he's sort of the successor. And I reached out to him just after I saw the restaurant, because I used to hang out with Todd a little bit way back in the day, like 15 years ago. And he's out of the country, but I want to get together with him and just talk to him about, you know, his design sensibilities and, you know, how do you make a splash at a high-end hotel like the Wynn and make it special? You know what I mean? I mean, there's so much generic design out there, and then trying to make it fit into the oeuvre of the Wynn and make it memorable on its own. It's such a talent that, I mean, a lot of people fail at. So.
Yeah, it's a beautiful room, and I don't really like the Wynn style at all. But this, you feel like you're in a completely different space,
Which I always felt with Costa de Mare and Bartolotta at the time. So,
and I like that it's like a tiered dining room, which is really nice. So
and an outdoor patio too. Outdoor
yes.
patio.
So very cool. I can't wait to actually go back. And that's it, Sam.
Well, I finally made it over to 00 Pie and Pub.
Finally.
Yeah.
After we've been telling you to go for 2 years.
I know.
Okay.
Well, I don't always trust your opinion. No, I'm kidding. So no, I
Took James Beard. He's a James Beard follower.
No. I'll tell you, it was pizza is just your classic, perfect, you know, bubbled crust with charring on it. It was a great pizza, top performing pizza in town.
Do you get some of the apps because they're pretty strong apps there?
We
too.
just did a salad, and the salad was great. Next time I'll hit the apps. I didn't have enough
What
people
pizza?
with me. Well, I did boring. I was margarita and the pepperoni,
Yawn.
and they were really good. Look, I went with the family, so
Yeah, the family.
I didn't have.
Well, you know, it was a big scandal when they got rid of their wood-fired oven. And
Well,
put
I
in
asked
the
them
deck
about
oven.
it.
And what did they say?
They said, "Well, we just couldn't get enough pizzas out."
Yeah, of course that's it.
And that's it. And I could admit, the pizza's still very good. I didn't have it before. Have you noticed the difference?
I have not been since they went to the deck ovens.
Okay.
You know, and I mean, I can see. We talked about this on one of the episodes you weren't around. All the pizzaiolo I know will tell you, you know, they can make great pizzas in a deck oven pizza. Yes, they can. But it's not the same thing as the individual wood-fired pizza ovens, which get hotter, which imparts the wood smoke. And, you know, I get it. It's a money decision. But, true aficionados kind of look for the wood-fired pizza.
I don't think the United Nations
Would approve.
accept-
Would approve. Yeah, exactly.
Sanction that shit.
Oh, okay.
So I went there, and I, of course, ran into John at the Café Central, which is part of the Café du Vegas chain.
And you met Carmen Barber,
And
right?
I met Carmen. She's lovely. You know, it's a great spot. I deliberately went and got the two things that I always like to get when I'm at Breche to compare it side by side.
That's why you weren't eating that much. I looked over at your table. I was at a different table because my coffee clutch, we meet there sometimes. And I saw Sam wasn't eating much. I contemplated sending food over to him, but I figured there was a...
Well, I need to go back for the galettes.
Yeah,
I want to try the galettes because your
Get the
duck confit galette looked amazing.
insane.
Ooh, that sounds yummy.
Off the hook. Okay.
Is this your second time going, John?
Yeah, second
Okay.
time going. I went one time, the first time, and I told them early on. I had a couple. The croque monsieur was not good, and the onion soup was not good. And I talked to Carmen, and you know, and she said, "Yeah, we're just having having a shakedown cruise here, and then that when they've been working on it, the galette I had was incredible.
Okay, so they're moving in the right direction.
Right, and their baked goods are always solid. Okay, the croissant are good. The pain au chocolat. I don't know. So what did you have, Sam?
Well, I had the 2 quiches, the spinach and the ham and cheese.
Okay.
And then I had just a classic croissant. And I mean, like Bresch's is still a cut above.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I think Bresch does it on a smaller level. Yeah.
Yes,
I would,
yeah,
I would put it
and
there.
maybe they're gonna. It's just it's an evolution. But I would absolutely go back, and I would try more things, and I'd particularly hit up a few of those galettes.
Yeah, I think the galettes are the move.
But really beautiful, and the
Central.
location is fantastic. Because the Central one it's really opposite where 00
Yeah.
Pie and Pub are and Partage, in the same center there with what is it, Kame?
Kame sushi.
And so it's on Spring Mountain, just off the 15, and I think that's it's a good location.
Right. It's great for us because we can just zip down Valley View and be right
Oh,
there in
yeah.
10 minutes. Yeah. So, looking forward to that. And I think they'll expand a little bit. And their savory food, I think they're looking where Café Bresch is really just the best French bakery in town that does other food. Café Central is trying to do a broader menu in some ways. And but I'm not going to, I would say if you were side by side, I'm sure the croissant.
The quiche Lorraine at Bresch is just the best in town.
Yeah.
There's nothing's close.
I'll tell you who does a good quiche though too. 1228.
Oh
Maine.
yeah.
Yes,
They do a nice.
and
nice
the
one.
1228 quiche is better than Café
Central?
de Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, there we go. Everyone's a critic.
All right.
That's why you're here, folks.
Yeah. And then I
Judge
went
for
to.
your skull and judge for
I
yourself.
have to say this because I went to Bar Boheme again. I'm working my way through the menu. I still need to go with 6 people or something to try it all. You got them in one sitting. But I went with a buddy of mine who's French. He's from Nice. And a bit of a food hound. He was blown away. And the best part is he ran into 2 of his French buddies
that's
at
funny.
separate tables. So the French have discovered Bar Boheme.
Yeah, they've taken it to their bosom.
Yeah, and it's like with Chinese food. If the actual real Chinese people are eating it, it's a sign. Here, the French are starting to come there. The lady I saw one time I saw a lady from Bresch, the owner from Bresch.
Monique Gattel.
Yeah, she was sitting at a table. So I thought,
yeah.
Les Français have discovered Boheme, La Boheme, and I think it's starting to, catch on. The food is really phenomenal.
It's now Bar Boheme, right?
It's Bar Boheme,
but it
and then
started
the
out as
back.
Boheme.
Yeah.
And then they had suddenly, after I come back from Italy, and it's Bar Boheme all of a sudden. When did it switch?
I think it was always Bar. It opened as Bar Boheme. I don't know if maybe the original press releases were just Boheme.
Yeah.
When it was originally rumored to be going into where Ada's or the old esters, it might have been.
Maybe that was it.
But
All right.
it's Petite Boheme is the bar,
the little bar in the back.
and then there's Bar Boheme.
Should call it La Grande Boheme.
Yeah. I thought it should just be Boheme.
Me too.
I do have a little bit of a pet peeve there.
I do. Oh, mate, are you going to take mine? This is my pet peeve in restaurants in general. Does it have to do with paper?
No.
Oh.
It's they bring out certain things like their sides, like mashed potatoes and everything in what look like cast iron, little mini Dutch ovens.
Little stubs.
Yeah, but they're not. They are plastic.
Quelle horreur!
So it's this like odd thing where it sits next to you and you're like kind of touching it to make sure it's not hot, and then you're like, oh, it's plastic. And it's just
I haven't even noticed
it's
that.
fake cast iron.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's probably
That's not a pet peeve as much as it is. You wish it was.
yeah. Okay. Well, you guys have pet peeves. I kind of have one, but go fire away. You guys seem
Well, since
eager.
we're talking about Bar Boheme, let me. Well, actually, John, you feel like you're locked and loaded over there.
No, you finish with yours.
Okay,
mine's kind of a lame ass microaggression.
I love that. My favorite.
I just hate paper on top of linen. Either have linen in a restaurant or don't. Ooh. The paper drives me crazy and it cheapens everything. I think that Bar Boheme.
Explain what you're talking about.
Well, Bar Boheme has, it's a very classy interior, right? A cool design, love it. They have linen on every table.
The white linen.
White
table.
linen, right? Tablecloths.
Then
And
they
then
have a paper runner.
and then they have a paper runner, and then on the circular tables, it's very awkward because they don't fold properly over the edges. They don't drape right. So there's always a piece of paper, like sharp edge, jabbing into your wrists. I looked like I had a suicide attempt, like, basically, I was sitting there
Are
and,
you
and
okay?
trying to.
Did you need an ambulance?
No,
Was
I
it-
did.
was
I
Did you get a
I called
boo-boo?
Salmon Ash, and
And now we own.
and now we
Now
yeah.
you're 14% partners in the restaurant.
So it's look. If you don't want the
One or the
linen,
other.
do away with the linen because there's a lot of great high-end bistros in Paris that don't have
So
linen.
you're saying they want it both ways. They kind of want to have the linen, but they want to have the paper covering so they don't have to change the linen as often.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Do
I
you feel
agree.
my pain?
I'll sign off on that one. I'll back that. I'll
I
second
think it's my
it.
only gripe at that restaurant, actually.
All right. Well, it's,
But other people do it too, and it's just
Yeah.
bothersome.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of where else.
I like having. I do not
think
like
Monzù
resting
does
my
it.
arms on beer. Oh, I went to Monzù.
You
I didn't
You're
even mention
welcome.
that. Well, you're like, jeez, I was everywhere. I
I
was
think
at Monzù
it's on the list.
2 nights ago. I forgot that. Yes, Monzù was spectacular.
I know.
I mean, I'm telling you, there are 2 wine lists in town. I know for you winos out there. I mean, in local, Ada's and Monzù have wine lists that are just eye-poppingly tremendous. I mean, award-winning, as good as any. I mean, they're not huge. We're not,
Yeah.
Tour d'Argent, encyclopedias. But they're just well-curated, well-priced wines. All Italian at Monzù. Blew me away. We had the hanger steak there. Incredible. It wasn't that busy. Went early during the week. Gio wasn't there. I didn't get any big deal, special treatment. But just Monzù is such a gem in the neighborhoods. I mean,
I
it
love
just-
that place.
So
I
anyway,
need to go there.
I just had to make up for this. Sorry. So what pet peeves, and we'll wrap it up.
What's your
because
pet peeve? You're already late.
Mine is kind of. This has been a pet peeve of mine. I think since I was like 4. Okay.
This is therapy.
Well, when did I start becoming, such a misanthropic guy? But I remember as a little kid being in restaurants and seeing the salt and pepper shakers and shaking pepper onto my eggs or anything. We're talking, I'm 10 years old. This was over a half a century ago going, Mommy, why does this pepper, it looks like pepper, but it doesn't taste like pepper? So what the fuck is up with these lame-ass pepper shakers you see in diners and cheaper restaurants that have pre-ground black pepper, which doesn't even taste like black pepper. It just looks like black pepper.
You really had a tough childhood.
And I always wonder, who do they
Such a
think they're
peasant.
fooling? It's like, well, here's our salt and pepper shakers and our flavorless pepper.
So do
Pepper
you-
is supposed to have a kick.
So do you want individual little grinders
I want
Corns.
I want Malabar pepper personally ground by
For your
by
eggs.
Indonesian virgins brought onto my eggs. Okay, no, I just think pre-ground pepper in those lame ass thick glass pepper shakers about so big.
Yeah,
it's just
fresh?
so weak.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
finely ground black pepper.
Or
yeah,
just
it's not
spend
good.
a little more money and find there. I'm sure I haven't ever tasted all the pre-ground
Mm-hmm.
peppers. I'm sure there's some that taste like something, but so many of these like lower end diners, restaurants, breakfast, lunch places use the cheapest stuff possible, and it really barely even tastes
Plus,
like
you
pepper.
can even buy like now you can buy those disposable like plastic grinders.
Well, which
yeah.
grind it on the spot.
Yeah.
Anything is
Yeah.
preferable to this stuff. And
Alright.
Landwer had one, and I looked at it and I went, "This is just don't even put it on the table.
Mm.
Don't because it adds nothing, brings nothing to the party."
Hmm.
So again, it's kind of a small thing, but I thought I'd vent my spleen.
I like it.
So vented.
Okay.
Mine is water. This is sat down. Woman like recognized I'm first of 4 to show up. She recognizes that someone has sat in her table, so she then runs over to the water station and fills up 4 glasses of ice water that I don't want because it's tap water. And she comes over and I'm like, ooh, can we just we're going to do a bottle of sparkling water for the table. And she goes, okay. So she leaves, comes back and she goes, we only have individual bottles. And I was like, fine, I'll do an individual bottle. The rest of them can figure it out when they get here. So then she brings over my individual Topo Chico and a glass with ice and the lime.
Right next to your other water.
No, just with the ice. And I was like, I didn't have the heart to tell her I don't want the ice. I don't want the tap water. Ice is made with tap water.
Well, maybe.
For gosh sakes.
I know.
Just pour the damn Topo
I
Chico
did.
in
I
the
did.
ice.
No, wait a minute.
You don't
no,
want-
I mean she did because she's polite. But this, hold on, it is barbarian to put sparkling mineral water on ice.
That's made from tap water.
That's made from Lake Mead water.
You both are crazy.
No.
I'm absolutely
Have
not crazy.
standards, John.
How
Hey,
else?
okay.
You're over there
Oh,
fighting
oh,
about
what a-
black pepper
what- okay.
not being.
When I was 4 years old,
You're complaining about your black pepper struggles, and I'm telling you, I don't want
So you only
contaminated
want
water.
crystalline ice made with properly filtered water.
Yeah, from the tears of cherubs.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay.
I recognize.
the automatic icing is it's obscene.
Oh, my God.
It's obscene.
I'm going to put you two on ice, okay? I mean, come on. I mean, this is not the first time I've heard this.
I think I've used this before.
I think the food gal has
Because it
actually said this
happens.
before. I go, you want cold water? Just put up with the ice that isn't made in as pristine a way as your bottled water. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with Lake Mead water. It's very pure. I realize it
Do you drink tap water on Spring Mountain Road?
sometimes, yeah.
Do you know what the tap water tastes like here in the Arts District?
Oh God!
You don't even want to
The
know.
smell that you sometimes get when you walk
Yep.
into some of these
Yeah.
places. Okay,
All right,
enough
well,
of that.
yeah.
So let's wrap it up. We've got listener questions and comments, but we'll have to save it
We're
till
going to have
next
to
week.
save it because I've got to bounce. I'm sorry, folks.
Black pepper lives matter.
Good night, Canada.